Journal 2. Phonology. This is the study of the sounds of patterns and how it's used in language. So these are the sounds that make up the words. Morphology. This is the study of the words. So now we're looking at the words and we're seeing how they work together, such as in word families, like we have the example of cat, or I'm sorry, the at family with cat, sat, mat, fat, and hat. Syntax. This is taking those words that we just talked about and now we're forming them into sentences. So these are all kind of building blocks on top of each other. We're forming these sentences out of these words that we've just learned. Semantics. This is the study of the language, the study of the simple words and then the larger phrases. It's where we sit there and we actually look at the language. And pragmatics. This is how we use our words, okay? So the meanings behind them, for example, if a word has multiple meanings, we sit there and we see how we use those words in the proper context. So why I think phonology is difficult for English language learner students. And this is the one that I chose because I've had personal experiences with it in my own classroom. Last year, I had a student who sat in my classroom and his mind was brilliant and he could say everything that he wanted to. But when I sat down and had him do a writing sample, there were things that just didn't make sense to me. His words didn't make sense to my English mind. So I went home and I talked to my husband, who is a college teacher in Spanish linguistics. And I had him look at a couple of the examples that I had written down. And one of the examples was the student wrote chip, C-H-I-P. And I said, I can tell that the student is talking about his ranch. I can tell that the student is talking about his chores or his duties on his ranch, but I do not understand what chip is. And my husband informed me there is no SH sound in the Spanish language. And he said, therefore, this student is saying sheep, and he is spelling it how he knows how. He was writing Spanish in English, and I wasn't understanding it. So I think that the phonological difficulty for some students is that languages don't have some of those sounds. Those important sounds that are in the English language that we're so commonly used to hearing, so we just assume that it's there. But for these students, it's not just there. It's something that has to be acquired. It's something that has to be taught. So for example, I would love to sit down with my husband and understand that Spanish language better to know, okay, what all sounds are missing from the difference between the Spanish language and the English language. And once I acquire that knowledge from my husband, then I can sit down with some of these English language learner students that are of Hispanic heritage and that speak Spanish as their first language, and I can sit down with them and we can sit there and together learn these sounds that are missing from their native language that we're asking them to participate in their second language. So that is an activity that I would do with these students is have them practice the SH sound, for example, so that they can become knowledgeable and comfortable in it, knowing that sheep is SH, sh, and practice these sounds with them because it's not something that is commonly used in their primary language.